Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I live and work in Scotland. I've come on today to share this little project with you. I actually filmed the Making Your Own Designer Series paper because I've been doing a few of them, and I filmed it before I went off on holiday. But I didn't do the second part. I did the making of the paper. I filmed that. Here's the rest of it. And I never got round to making it into anything. But I've just made this box up, and I was going to show you, film just making of the box, when I discovered that I've actually been very clean and tidy, and I've wiped the video from my camera of making the paper. So this is going to be a longer video. I'm going to show you it from scratch, and I'm going to show you how I work out the measurements of my boxes so that you can kind of maybe be able to be a bit more independent in making boxes yourself. So if you just bear with me, what we'll do first of all is I need to get a piece of card, and I forgot to get my Whisper white card. Great start, Janice. Just bear with me till I get some card to start stamping on. Here we go. And I am just going to chop this down a bit because I don't want to be stamping all day and wasting. So if you just bear with me, I'll just cut this down to about half. Because I know what I'm like. I'll do the project for you and then I'll not use the rest of it up. I will try to use this up. I'm going to change it up a wee bit though. I'm still going to, where I got the blue stamping from was, I had bought myself this, it's just a plastic wallet thing for keeping paperwork and things in, and I kind of like the fact that it was just shades of blue. It just inspired me to go on and do a bit of blue stamping. I've not by any means done the same thing because they basically used the same colour and then lighter shades of exactly the same colour. But what I'm going to use is different blues. Similar to what I did there, I'm using the same stamp set that I used. It's the beautiful Bouquet stamp set. Now this has been carried over to the new catalogue, so it's available now. This is a great stamp set. I think it's actually what I would call an essential stamp set, especially if you're a card maker. You will use this over and over again. The die set that goes with it is excellent too. You can cut out loads of bits that go with this. But for today we're just doing stamping. I will demonstrate the die set to you another day. So what I've done is I've selected a few of the stamps from the set and I've put them, whoops, I put them onto blocks. I'll show you, see they're all stained because I've used them so much. So I've got 4 different flowers here. We've got a leaf, we've got middle bits, and I've got the message. This time I'm going to put the wee message on them. What I'm aiming at is, the other bit of blue idea was, I have this little box of soap that I wanted to gift to a friend. Now okay, it looks nice as it is, and it's made locally, it's Scottish Fine Soaps. So but I thought if I made a wee box, that would be perfect. Make it into a more exciting gift. Now I'm not going to decorate it greatly because I'm making my own paper here for the top of it. So where have I put the inks that I got out? I did select 4 blues. I'm having a terrible day today. Oh, here they are, right in front of me. Just need to put that punch away. Okay, so I've got 4 blues here. I've got Pacific Point, that wasn't in the other one. I've got Balmy Blue, I've got Blueberry Bushel, and I've got our new blue, which is in the new in colours, and it's called Seaside Spray. really love it. So let's have a play. So what am I going to do? What colours am I going to use? First, I've lost my box now as well to kind of get a bit of inkling of what I did before. So I am going to use this Pacific blue. Oh, finger in already. Give me a second till I wipe that off, because otherwise that'll be all over the project. Just using my chamois that I clean my stamps with, and take the worst of that off my finger. And I've got a microfiber. I've just noticed a bit of fluff on my ink pad too, so I'm just going to take that off. I don't know how that got there, but we'll get rid of that off there because that will just mess up everything. So I'm going to take that Pacific point because this is going to change everything, the colours, because this colour is a strong colour and it wasn't in before, and it's so strong I've managed to get it everywhere that I don't want it as well as where I do want it. Right, I'll be a bit gentler, Janice. So randomly, can you do random? That's not so good there, but then again, because I'm going to make this, use it for my box, I'll be able to choose the bit that I cut out for my box. We'll stamp this and then I'll show you how I arrived at my measurements and things. Because I'm thinking, you know, it'd be more useful to you to be able to know how to work it out yourself. Some of you maybe already can, but it took me a wee while to get there in my head. So now I'm going to take Balmy Blue and I'm going to pop this flower around. Do you see? Right, and that's that one, so let's clean that off. You've seen me doing this kind of random stamping before, but it's nice actually. Do you know what I've not done in a long time is the same colour, just different shades of the. Look at me, I'm like 50 shades of blue here. No, I was going to do that a different colour, Janice. Let's close the Balmy Blue for the moment. I'm not having them all open because I'll just end up in a worse mess. Do you know what it is? It's because I had the blue on the chamois and then I wiped the chamois over my hands. Learn from me, ladies, don't make the same mistakes as me. Okay, the littler flower here and this Seaside Spray, which is just a gorgeous colour. So just bringing that Seaside Spray in and that, and we're going to bring in some more, or no, we'll bring in our Blueberry Bushel and a few leaves, I think, maybe. So, or shall I? I've not used that flower, but I don't think I've got room for that now, so I'll take that one off the little block. I want to get my 4U's in here as well. Or no, that's quite small. Wait a minute, Janice. Right, some I'm going to use middles, get some middles on here, on these bigger flowers with the dark blue, the blueberry bushel. Shows up nicely on top of the balmy blue. Look at me, I'm a mess. I'm not feeling blue, but I'm certainly looking blue here. Right, that's all the, well, there's tiniest wee bit of that middle there, so I can pop that there. Okay, so let's clean that off. I need a different chamois because that one's covered in blue. I'll be needing a bath by the time I'm finished here. And then again we'll use this and pop some leaves. Every time you do these sort of things it's different. And I've got a bit of splodge of ink here, so we can put a leaf there and one there. You're just going in the spaces, popping some blue around. I always go quiet when I'm doing this. It's, do you know, it's like colouring, it's very therapeutic. Right, okay, that'll do for that. And then clean some of this off. And we'll just pop this, the wee sentiment here that says "for you." I don't know whether to go in again with the Pacific Point or just stick with the blueberry bushel. I think I'll stick with the blueberry bushel for the in-between. So, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you. Do you see what I mean? That's just, I'm just randomly, I'm not being random enough, so let's turn it around. Well, that didn't do so good. I double stamped that because I wasn't paying attention. And I've spilt something here as well, not great. Do you know what, something's been wet, so luckily we're not intending to use all of this sheet of paper. And I'll just turn it this way so we get some facing this way. And then that way. And then we'll know right, do you think that's about enough? I think that's probably plenty now. You get the drift? So, I like that. Do you like that? We'll pop that up just now. It's different to the one I made earlier, but that's okay. So, I'll get another bar of soap from my little box. I've got a box of bits and pieces today. I went to the factory shop for the soap maker and got some bits and pieces. So you'll probably see some of what I bought featuring in the near future. I really like this one. So let's pop our stamps out of the way. I get in my pencil. I've got one that's got a point on it. Okay. So get the pencil. And I've got my box. I don't know if you can see the bottom corner because this is where I do my measuring. So I'm going to measure this, and I'm doing this I'm actually doing this in inches simply because my scoreboard is in inches. So this is I want the box to, you know, have room to get the soap in and out. So the nearest measurement here is 2 3/8. So I'm going to, what I would there do is the base of this is a square. This is just a sketch, so 2 3/8 is that measurement. Now I know that because this is a square, I don't need to measure it. I'm just double checking, yeah. It is a square, so I don't need to measure all directions. What I need is that direction and I need the depth. So if you can see, it's 7/8 of an inch. So the side bit there, it has to be 7. Why am I writing a 3 when it's 7? 7/8. And then at this side it would need another flap that would be 7/8 of an inch. So I need to add those measurements together for the base. So for the base, it needs to be, that comes to 4 1/8 of an inch square. Okay, and the lid will need to be 1/16 of an inch larger. 1/16 of an inch larger than that. So 4 1/8 of an inch plus 1/16. So 1/8 is 2/16. So that will be 4 3/16 of an inch square for the lid. Now, the depth that I need the box to be, and I want the lid to be the same depth. So as you get a nice finish like this, if you make them both the same, and I'll show you what I did there. So the first score, the score has to be at 7/8 of an inch, and because this is a square, we can just do it at 7/8 of an inch all round. And because we've made the lid slightly bigger, if we score it the same all the way round, we will get a lid that fits nicely. That 1/16 of an inch is just perfect, and they just slide nicely over the top of each other. Okay, and to get the wee thumb hole, I use this 1/2 inch punch. Okay, so let's get the scoreboard out, my trimmer out, and I'm going to cut a base which is 4 1/8 square. So this is a scrap I've got left. So 4 1/8. This is just short of that. I don't want the score, but I want my blade. 4 1/8 that way. This is just a bit, that is 4 1/8 that way. Right, so that's 4 1/8, and where's my paper I just made? Right, I'm going to avoid this end because I got that wet for some reason. So, and the Stampin's not that great on that end, so just bear with me. Let's chop off the bits we don't like, do you know? Only a bit of paper. And that particular flower didn't stamp that well, so let's chop that bit off. Okay, right, so 4, and what does the lid to be? So I've kept my measurements written here. So it's 4 3/16. So as you see, the smaller measurement here is 1/16 of an inch. So 4 3/16. And then same again, 4 3/16. So that's the lid cut and the base cut. So I've put the trimmer away and I've brought out the scoreboard. So as I said earlier, we're going to score at 7/8 of an inch all round on both pieces. So 1, 2, because this film is longer, I'm having to do it in 2 parts. 3, 4. So all the measurements along the scoreboard are 1/8 of an inch. Each increment is 1/8 of an inch, so it's quite easy for the scoring. So as long as you keep your scoring in eighths, you're all right. So 7/8 for the lid as well. So that's our scoring done, 7/8 round all 4 sides. So I can put the scoreboard away. It goes under the desk. Oh, are we? Not Eddie. Oh, too bad. I keep trying to keep the top sheet clean and then I keep stamping off on it. What a mess I am. But anyway, right. So we need to fold and burnish all of our score lines. So just quickly fold and burnish. The lid and fold and burnish the base. Right, and then we're bringing my snips. I'm going to cut up two flaps like that, turn it around 180 degrees. Just cut up the score line to the first score line, keep it as straight as you can, and then wedge the square flaps. I always find if I go from the score line to the top on the outsides, that works better for me. And then just cut the inside wedge quickly as you can. So you end up, oops, there we go, bits everywhere as usual. So again, it's exactly the same thing for the lid. So this is really just a basic box. But I do this all the time now when I'm trying, well, not all the time, but a lot of the time when I'm making a box for something, if I want a lid and a base. My team leader Karen showed me to do this. I didn't used to do much 3D stuff and now I love it. And it was my team leader Karen that showed me 1 or 2 boxes. And I do it all the time now without thinking about it. It was Karen of Corrie Paper Crafts, and she showed me how to do the 1/16 of an inch. And it makes all the difference. There's lots of other ways to try and do it. You can use your card as a kind of butt bar when you're scoring it. There's lots of other ways to get a nice close fitting lid. But for me, up to now, this has always worked. Watch this. I'll go wrong because I'm doing it on film. And then I just use wet glue because it's there, it's quick and easy. You could use tape. I wouldn't use snail, to be honest with you. It wouldn't hold for very long. because I'm putting soap in here, it can be quite heavy, so I'm just very quickly, so what you do is you put glue on your flat, and then you just very carefully look at what you're doing, line up your corner and just hold it for a few seconds. The glue takes pretty quickly. Make sure your corner's nice and neat. Get in again. That's your base done. Bar of soap will fit in there. See, no bother, because we just give that wee bit extra room. I'm just pressing in just to give the glue a minute, and then the same here. Glue on. I'm going through my blue phase. Who had a blue phase? Was that Picasso? I know little bits of art history, but I don't always remember them properly. Just I know snippets. Kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. I know little bits of information. But I know somebody had a blue face. Tell me which artist had a blue face. Phase, not face. Phase. My hands are going to be blue for a few days, I think. And then where's my 1/2 inch punch? So this is great because if I just pop that up to about there, just eyeball it to see if it's about halfway. One on that side, it won't matter because you'll never see both at the same time. There we go. Let's hope it works. Yay! No. Yeah, it does. Just needs a bit of coaxing in this corner. Oh, maybe I'm doing it the wrong way around. It was always going to be more difficult on video, wasn't it? But it's done. It worked. Punch out of the way, get rid of some ribbons. So is that a cute little gift for you? Or this one? This lid is tighter. I'll give it that. It's because I'm doing it in too much of a rush. Very good. I was just getting some ribbon down. So I thought that maybe could tie a bit of ribbon round it. What do you think? Will we cut a bit off and see what happens? I'm cutting a bit off. Sometimes I don't cut off first, but in this instance I am. So I want to do it that way. How are you in tying up parcels? It won't matter which way, do it that way. And then, no, it needs to be this way, Janice. Right, ribbon round like that. Twist at the bottom underneath and bring it back up and tie it in a bow, but I have got far too much here, so I am going to try and save on a bit of ribbon, not be too wasteful. So if we twist it about there and then bring it up here, are we doing a bow or are we just, will we do a wee bow? There we go. use that on another project, not waste it. There you go, tied with a bow. And not tied with a bow. What do you think? Which one do you like best? You can tell me. So there's the process from start to finish of stamping myself some paper and making myself a box for my pretty little soaps. These pretty little soaps are made in Scotland. I love gifting them to people. Anyway, please subscribe, please share this video with anyone you think might want to be, you know, who might want to learn a bit more about how to measure up to make a box. The grid paper is great for doing that, you know, for helping you work out, because one side of the there's plain grid paper, one side is inches, the other side is centimetres, so whichever, and I mix and match between the two. Some things I do in centimetres, cards I usually do in centimetres, 3D items I usually do in inches, but that's simply because my scoreboard is in inches. I've not bought the bit that's in centimetres. Anyway, thank you very much for putting up with me, and I'll see you again soon.